This is the second of a series of 6 video classes devoted to innovación docente e iniciación a la investigación educativa, aplicación de las TIC a los estudios ingleses. In this video class, we are going to concentrate on educational innovation for English teaching, and more specifically on computer-mediated communication. When we talk about computer-mediated communication, or CMC, and also when we talk about computer-assisted language learning more in general, or CALL, there's a wide variety of terms and acronyms that are used, and it is sometimes confusing. For example, if you look at all these words that I have put here in this slide, you may not know some of them. By the end of the presentation, hopefully, all of these will be familiar for you. Yeah, you may have heard of ICT, Information and Communication Technology, and of course you know about ESL, English as a Second Language, or EFL, English as a Foreign Language. All the rest are different possibilities that we are gonna see. For example, the wikis or voice over IP with Skype as the most famous example, or Second Life, which is a movie, or microblogging with Twitter, etc. So let's have a look at the table of contents. We've already done a bit of a warm-up and introduction. Next we are going to concentrate on one type of CMC, synchronous CMC. Then we will see asynchronous CMC, and finally we'll sum up this presentation with some conclusions. So let's start with synchronous CMC. There are 4 different types. The most famous one, probably, and maybe the oldest, is MSN, instant messaging. There are also chat rooms. This is a very well-known example. DaveCSL.com is a very thorough website that has a chat section. Second Life is a bit dated. People don't use it anymore, but it was very trendy. It's a virtual world in which people can interact. But we are gonna see an example of voice over IP, how it can be used for the purpose of English language teaching, because probably you've used it in your private life, to communicate with people abroad or people that are far away from you. But this is an example of a project that I did in the school where I was working. We set up an exchange with an American school, and once every 2 months or so we went to the computer room and had a video chat with the students from the States. They were from New Orleans. You can see that they are here, this side of the screen. My students had a webcam, and headsets, microphone and headphones, and they had to be in groups of 2 or 3 because we didn't have enough computers, and the others were in pairs. We can see briefly a video so that you can get an idea of how it works.
What are you doing outside? Homework.
Okay, so in this session they were talking about school life, and they would ask questions and the others would answer them. The first half of the session was only in Spanish, and the second half of the session was only in English, so that both groups could communicate and learn something from it. Okay. So let's move on to asynchronous computer-mediated communication. The most evident mode is the email, any email such as Hotmail, Gmail, or the one from UNED. Forums are very widely known as well. Maybe not so well known when we talk about voice forums. This is an example, Voxopop. It's exactly the same idea as a forum. You post a message. The difference is that you can record your voice. This, for example, is another project that I did with one of my classes in Bachillerato, and it was collaborative storytelling. I started a story and then the rest of the students continued it. Let's hear it.
The other day, I went to the supermarket because I needed to do my shopping. I took a trolley and
suddenly a monster appeared in the trolley and
The monster was big and green, with yellow eyes, short arms, and a big mouth with eye tooth.
Okay, and the story continues until the end. You can see that there are the different contributions of the different students. Okay, so this is a very nice way of getting students to talk. Yeah, I really recommend it to you. More ways of communicating asynchronously. Distribution lists. This is more for professionals, more for your own development. I have put here the two different associations that are more powerful in Spain. AEDEAN, which is more for teachers or people that have done English studies that are interested in literature, and this is for more for people interested in linguistics. Yeah, AEDEAN and AESLA. So if you join them, they send you newsletters and they keep you up to date with the latest developments in the field. Yeah, we are gonna have a closer look at the social software because there are many types and it's really worth stopping a little bit and paying attention to it. So we can say that there are 5 main types of social software: social networks, blogs and microblogs, wikis, podcasts, and social repositories. Social networks, everyone knows about Facebook or 20. Maybe not so well known are Ning or Busuu. I'm not going to click on the websites because you can access them yourselves and it takes a lot of time. But I have highlighted here one that belongs to Eurocall Teacher Education. That's important if you're interested in computer-assisted language learning, because Eurocall is an European association that gets together in teachers that are interested in using computers in their classes. Yeah, Busuu is a language learning community in which you can interact with people from all over the world and learn the language you are interested in. Okay. Blogs and microblogs are very popular. You will know about Twitter, or then when blogging, probably these two are the main ones, Blogger and WordPress. Wikis, yeah, everyone uses the Wikipedia. You may not have used them in the context of English teaching. They are very useful because the main difference between a normal website and a wiki is that everyone can contribute to the wiki. I have used it in my classes in secondary and bachillerato, especially to put any content related to society and culture, any cross-curricular stuff. Yeah, you can see here that they worked on St. Patrick's Day. This is a project on important people. I'm going to show you this one briefly. So what they had to do was to upload information on different relevant characters in the history of English-speaking countries. Yeah. So this I didn't upload it myself. This was uploaded by different students. Okay. Another very nice example of a wiki is Quickie. And Quickie is similar to a Wikipedia, but it has some extra features because you can enter any name. I don't know, we are going to enter Auckland, for example, to find out about this city in New Zealand. So what it does, it shows you a slide show presentation, but it also has a voiceover and some subtitles, so students can use it to get information the same way as the Wikipedia, but also listen to the information and read it at the same time. The drawback is that it takes a little bit of time to upload.
Auckland metropolitan area, in the North Island of New Zealand, is the largest and most populous urban area in the country with residents, % of the country's population. East city in the world. In Maori, Auckland's names are Tamaki Makaurau, and the transliterated version of Auckland, Akarana.
Okay, so you can see here that the slideshow continues and then the information is under, and there is
Great
voiceover that
Auckland
reads
third
it.
equal
Okay,
place in the
we're
world
gonna
on its
close
list,
it
while the Economist's world
to continue with the presentation. Okay, so we've already had a look at the wikis. Let's continue with podcasts. I've put here the most useful ones when teaching English. ESL Pod is just a collection of podcasts that you can download. Yeah, and there are other websites that are not specifically podcasts. Podcasts are audio recordings that you can download to your own device. You don't have to listen them online. That's the main difference. Yeah, these ones have podcasts, videos. There's a mix. This one is highly recommendable because it's like a karaoke with a video, and it has some activities attached to it. So I recommend you try it out. Elo.org has video recordings with activities attached to them, the same as eslvideo.com, or tflclips.com, which is the same one as LessonStream, because this is the old version and everything has been transferred to lessonstream.org. So take a bit of your time and explore all these different websites, because they are really worth it to be used in your classes. And finally, these are social repositories, which is websites where you can store information. You have Flickr here, where you can store images and share them. You all know YouTube, so I've added one that you may not know, which is TeacherTube with educational content. SlideShare stores a PowerPoint presentation, yes, slide presentations, and Script stores documents, text, more like Word documents and so on, PDFs and that. Okay, so we've reached the end of this video class, and you can see that there's a variety of applications and didactic possibilities. However, you have to bear in mind that this is not a substitute for any other methodologies that we have to use in our teaching. It is true, though, that computer-mediated communication is essential in language teaching and learning in the 21st century. And we as teachers have the task of examining critically all the different options and choosing which are the best ones to our situation, adapting them to our classes, to the school where we work, the school facilities, and so on. I hope you have enjoyed this presentation and you have found it useful.